for analysis. I'm joined from Sydney, Australia by Leonid Petrov. He's a senior lecturer at the International College of Management in Sydney and visiting fellow at the Australian National University. Leonid, welcome to the program. What do you make of these comments by Pyongyang that we've heard today?
Well, first of all, today is the party day in North Korea. Korean Workers' Party is celebrating its 77th anniversary. And of course, North Korea needed to project the strength and success of the previous decades of Kim's dynasty rule, and also North Korea is very proud of having its indigenous nuclear program and also the ballistic missile programs. These days, the focus is, of course, put on the short-range and missiles and tactical nuclear weapons. Looking at what is happening in Ukraine right now, now the buzzword would be the eliminating and wiping out the enemy from the map. And also what North Korea is possessing, Ukraine is missing on, and very regrettably, I believe, Kiev is now understanding that giving up nuclear weapons is something what smaller nations should not afford, because when they're bullied by the greater nations, nuclear arsenal may be not as helpful as a small, short-range tactical nuclear weapon. That's something what North Korea has, and that's what Kim Jong-un is very happy to announce today, particularly, and also just a month ago, on the 9th of September, the founding day of Democratic People's Republic of Korea. He also announced that North Korea is a nuclear-armed state, and its programs, both ballistic missiles and nuclear weapons, are non-negotiable.
But all of this talk from both sides then are doing nothing to de-escalate what are already very high tensions in that region. So where do you see this all headed? Because sanctions and condemnation don't seem to do much to deter North Korea and its leader.
Well, I think that these days even Russia, Putin is learning from Kim Jong-un's playbook. Being under the international sanctions, doing something what the United Nations Security Council is frowning upon, is not that regrettable, because the dictators have their own purpose, just regime survival, and whatever means might support this goal can be understood domestically and also feared internationally. And that's what Putin learned from Kim Jong-un and from his Iranian and Syrian counterparts, that using weapons of mass destruction, or at least talking about it, would simply consolidate the poor people around the regime, and also would make the international observers more fearful of what the dictator may have in store. And Putin learned from Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un got it from Stalin and Mao Zedong, and we see that decades of regime survival is also promising Putin's regime also quite long-term rule over country, over Russia, and perhaps the restoration of the Soviet Union. That's what Moscow is openly talks about, and Kim Jong-un is very proud of maintaining socialism in one country, as a North Korean type of socialism, which survived the collapse of the communist bloc countries, which even gave a role model for Xi Jinping's China, which is going to gather in a few weeks' time, in late October, for the 20th Party Congress. And today, North Korean Workers' Party is celebrating another victory, well, if not military, at least psychological one, over the regional neighbors. And we see that South Korean new president Yoon Suk-yeol is now preparing for potential North Korean repetition of Korean War, and that's what Kim Jong-un is openly promising. Again, patterning his own behavior from Putin, who is fearless about dealing with NATO countries and former parts of the Soviet Union like Ukraine.
Leonid Petrov, appreciate your analysis, speaking to us there from Sydney in Australia.